So today, February 29th, 2024, is the first day that Tesla has opened up their supercharging network, 15,000 chargers, to other electric vehicles besides Tesla themselves. And we're gonna see if it works. As of right now, the Tesla Superchargers are only open to Ford vehicles, but Rivian is supposedly gonna be able to start charging later this year. These parking stalls here in Draper were not made for electric trucks. Oh man, and these cables are so short too. I gotta pull forward even more. Ford is not sponsoring this video. I did buy this truck myself. We use it for my off-road wheelchair company, making deliveries, getting materials, and 90% of the time we charge this either at home or at the office where electricity rates are super cheap. But when we're doing road trips or super long deliveries, having a reliable charging network is essential, and Tesla historically has the best charging network out of anyone. No offense, Ford, but it's the truth. So Ford adding 15,000 Tesla Superchargers to their network basically doubled their DC fast charging capabilities and made my truck all that much more valuable. Because now I can use it on longer trips and in more places if, and this is the giant if, it actually works. At this point in time, we still need an adapter to use the Tesla Superchargers. This adapter sent to me by Ford is 100% free, and anyone who has purchased a Ford EV can request one for free. It is designed by Tesla and distributed by Ford. When I say free though, it is only free until June 30th, 2024. After that, it becomes a whopping $230. You can already see that the Tesla port is about half the size of the CCS port. Tesla is also called the NACS, or the North American Charging Standard. But while being half the size, it is also twice as powerful. So it just makes sense that everyone wants to switch over now that Tesla has opened this port up for use. Tesla Supercharger, adapter, click. See if it fits. This cable's so short. All right, dropping down the DC fast charging. It looks like it might be working. That is wild. Charging a Ford vehicle at a Tesla Supercharger. So this charger right here is actually for this parking stall, but the only way this truck will charge, because the port is right here, is if we steal the charger meant for this stall. And as of right now, every Ford vehicle is made that same way. So at this particular charging station, every Ford will have to take up 2 stalls in order to work. But not every charging station is built like this. Some have chargers in between the stalls, and then others are passed through. So this situation is kind of unique, and it won't always be blocking 2 stalls. That little blue light right there means it's working. Adapter and everything. Tesla charging a Ford Lightning. That's wild. The app is telling us that we are charging at 143 kilowatts. We've added 77 miles and 30.6 kilowatt hours. And if we go into the charger details, it is 45 cents per kilowatt hour. 45 cents per kilowatt hour is kind of a lot. When we plug into my shop in Orem, we're paying about 6 cents per kilowatt hour, which would give us a full charge 300 miles of range for about $8. So going to these superchargers or DC fast chargers is kind of like a last resort or road trip only thing, because it's so much cheaper to charge at home. Now that we know what Tesla is charging other vehicle manufacturers to use their network, let's see what it costs to charge a Tesla here at this same charger. Luckily, I have my mom showing up with her Model Y so we can see how much Tesla charges one of their own kind. Wow, that is so short. So if you're a Tesla customer showing up at the Draper Supercharger, the cost per kilowatt hour is 34 cents. Tesla is charging 11 cents more per kilowatt hour for non-Tesla owners to use their charging network. And, you know, it is their network, they can charge whatever they want, but a 30% markup does seem a little bit extreme. Ford says they're not skimming any money off the top of that, it's purely pass-through. So Tesla decides the rates for other vehicles charging on their network, which is fine, but 30% is quite a lot. Before we pull out our pitchforks too much on Tesla's pricing, I did just check out an Electrify America charger about 14 miles away, and their price per kilowatt hour is 56 cents, which is even far higher than what Tesla is charging non-Tesla owners. Still less expensive than gas, but it's interesting that even with that 30% markup, Tesla is still cheaper than their competitors. As of right now, we have to use that adapter, but Ford has said that they're going to switch to using that NACS port in all of their vehicles. And I've always thought it was interesting that there's an equal port on either side. So this one doesn't open right now, but I'm curious if Ford is going to put a CCS charger on one side and an NACS charger on the other side and have 2 ports on every vehicle. I always thought it was an interesting design decision to have just a non-functional decorative port on the opposite side, but it makes a whole lot of sense if Ford's going to start switching over. I feel like Tesla opening up their charging network to other EVs is going to improve the charging experience across the board. And I, for one, am super glad to have access to more than 15,000 additional chargers across the United States. It is a massive deal for road trips. And if you're a Tesla owner worried about non-Tesla EVs taking up all your charging stalls, remember that Tesla manufactures about 1.3 million EVs every single year. So the 100,000 or so EVs that Ford adds to the pool every year aren't going to make as big of a dent as Tesla themselves, even if the Ford vehicles have to take up 2 charging stalls in order to work. With Rivian opening up their charging network to everyone to use as well, I think it's super cool to see all the manufacturers just working together in ways that we've never seen before. Remember, this adapter is free until June 30th of this year. After that, it's $230. I'll put a link down in the description. And thanks a ton for watching. I'll see you around.